Welcome back to your video notes. Today's notes are 3-3, solving systems of equations. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So a system of equations is two or more equations with the same variable. In order to solve a system of equations, we want to find the ordered pair that satisfies all of the equations. System of equations can be classified by the number of solutions that they have. A system is either consistent or inconsistent. So it's one of those two. It's going to be classified as consistent if there is at least one solution. So it could be one solution, it could be more than one solution, but if it has a solution, it's consistent. If it's inconsistent, then it has no solutions. So it can only be one or the other. For each system, it could also be either independent or dependent. If it's independent, it has exactly one solution. And if it's dependent, it has an infinite number of solutions. So both of these, notice that they have to have a solution. Independent has one, and dependent has infinitely many. If consistent has no solutions, then if it's inconsistent, that's all it is. The only time you'll classify if a system is independent or dependent is if it is consistent. Okay. So let's go ahead and do an example. So one way in order to solve a system is by graphing. It's not really the preferred method. There are other methods that are easier to use, especially if your solutions aren't nice, clean integers. But if you are going to use the graphing method, then you want to turn your equations into slope-intercept form, so that it's easy to find the slope and the intercept and graph. So if I take the first equation is 2x minus y equals -1, and I turn it into slope-intercept form, -y would equal -2x minus 1, and that means y would equal +2x plus 1. And then I would take the second equation, which is 3x plus y equals -4, turn it into slope-intercept form, y would equal -3x minus 4. Now if I graph this line, -3x minus 4, my slope is -3. My y-intercept is -4. So here on my y-axis, I would go down to -4, plot my point, and then use my slope is negative. So if your slope is negative, one of your directions that you're plotting your next point needs to be negative. So your negative directions are down and left. Only one of those directions should be used. So if you go down 3, 1, 2, 3, you should go right 1. If you go up 3, then you should go left 1. And then that gives you the slope of -3. Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, and then just keep on going. So now this is the equation, the line here. Okay, my first line, my slope is 2. My y-intercept is at +1. So +1, plot a point, and then my slope is +2. If your slope is positive, then you either go both in the positive direction, up and to the right, or both in the negative direction, down to left 1. Up to right, or down to left. Okay, and then draw the line that goes through those points. Okay, and then obviously we see where these two intersect, and that is our solution. So this system intersects at the point -1 is x and -1 is also y. So my solution is -1, -1. If we go back to this slide, consistent or inconsistent, well, it has at least one solution, so it's consistent. And then independent, it has exactly one solution, so it is consistent and independent. Classify this as consistent and independent. Okay. go ahead and try this on your own. Pause the video and answer this one. Okay, if you did this one correctly, then when you graphed your lines, they would have been the exact same line, which means that there are infinitely many solutions. So if you didn't know that if you graph the same line, there's infinitely many solutions, now you do. So you should have gotten the same line for both of these, infinitely many solutions, which means if it has at least one solution, it is consistent. And if it has infinitely many, then we consider that as dependent. So this is consistent and dependent. Okay. And then another way to solve systems is by using the elimination method. For elimination, you're going to eliminate one of your variables. So we look at our coefficients. For my x, my coefficients are 5 and 8. The greatest common multiple between those two is 40. So I could turn one into positive 40 and the other one into negative 40, add the two equations together, and then they would eliminate. But if I look over at the y's, that would be much simpler to eliminate because I have the same number, but what I need for them to eliminate is one negative and one positive. So you want same number, opposite signs. If I go ahead and multiply the second one by -1, I would have negative 8x minus 3y equals positive 25. So this is still the same equation. I just multiplied by -1. Now I'm going to take that first equation. Now I could have multiplied the top one by -1. It wouldn't have mattered. But I'm going to take this one, write it right underneath. And then I'm going to add the two equations together. When I do this, negative 8x plus 5x is going to give me negative 3x. Negative 3y plus 3y eliminates, so my y eliminates, and then that equals 25 minus 19 is a positive 6. So now I don't have the y variable anymore. I can go ahead and solve for x. I would divide by -3, and x would equal -2. Now, since this is a system, I need to know both x and y. So to get y, plug in your solved variable to find the other. So I can plug this into the first equation or the second one. It does not matter. I'm going to plug it into the first one. 5 times -2. Now I know what x is. X is -2 plus 3y equals -19. And then you solve for y. So I would have -10 plus 3y equals -19. Add 10 to both sides. 3y would equal -9. Divide by 3, y would equal -3. Okay, so x is -2, y is -3. My solution is -2, -3. And that would make this consistent and independent. Okay, so that is the elimination method. Go ahead and try this one. Pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, if you would have tried this on your own, you would have gotten something like 0 is equal to -102 or something else, but you would have gotten 0 is equal to another number that's not 0, which is false statement. And anytime you get a false statement, whether it's elimination or substitution, which we're going to do next, then there is no solution. So there's no solution for this system. There's no number that you could plug in for x and y that would make both of these equations true. So this is no solution. If we classify this, we would say that it is inconsistent. And then if it's inconsistent, we cannot say whether it's independent or dependent because both of those require a solution. Okay, so go ahead and try the next one as well. Pause the video, try this one out. Okay, if you solve this one, you would have gotten 0 is equal to 0, which is a true statement. It is always true. 0 is definitely always equal to 0. If you get something that looks like this with elimination or with substitution, then your answer is going to be infinitely many solutions. And if it's infinitely many solutions, if that is your answer, then it is consistent and independent. Dependent. So it's consistent and dependent for infinitely many solutions. Okay, let's move on to the last method, which is substitution. So substitution, you're going to substitute one variable in for the other. Because it's easy to solve one equation when there is one variable. The problem is I have two variables for both of these. So looking at the top one, I have a single x here. It'd be easy to solve this equation for x. If I look here, I would have some fractions. If I solve for x in this one, I would have to move over the 4, divide by 5. It would look a hot mess. There'd be fractions everywhere. With here, I could simply move the 7x over to the other side by adding it, and x would equal 7y plus 11. And then I could substitute this for the x in the next equation. So instead of 5x, 5 times 7y plus 11 plus 4y equals negative 23. And now I only have one variable in this entire equation. Instead of the x here, we replaced it, we substituted it with 7y plus 11. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and simplify and then solve for y. So I would get 35y plus 55 plus 4y equals negative 23. Combine like terms here, 39y plus 55 equals negative 23. 39y would equal negative 78, and then y would equal negative 2. Okay, now that you know what y is, then we can plug it into here, because x is equal to 7y plus 11, but now we know what y is, so I can substitute y for 2, for negative 2. And that would give me x. So x is equal to negative 14 plus 11, which means x is negative 3. So my solution here, negative 3, negative 2. That is the ordered pair that fits, and this would be consistent and independent. Okay, you try the next one. Go ahead and try this one. Pause the video, see what you get. Okay, if you would have solved this, then you would have gotten negative 5 and 3, which is consistent and independent.